Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Seem to take longer than usual. Okay. Knock, knock, knock. There we go. All right, let's look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. Okay, and we're right on the cusp of the full moon, and I can feel it. Oh my goodness. Also, I'm reading at night today, and I've been reading during, if you watch the channel, you maybe know I used to read exclusively late at night. Now, we're on a new schedule at home. I've been reading during the day. This is my first nighttime read. I've already done my other readings. This is my last reading of the night, and I'm tired. I don't know how I was doing this every night. Maybe going a little bonkers. I didn't even realize it. Okay. I do like the night because it's so quiet, and usually if I wasn't so tired, I would just feel wide open to the universe. But I had so many errands today that I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty tired, pretty exhausted, but my last reading, so that's okay. I can get silly with it. Okay, Taurus, our card for this reading is the Queen of Cups. I know I say every card is my favorite card, but this is one of my most favorites. It's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. And that gorgeous lady of the waters with her stork, just pregnant with well, maybe she's already had that baby, but rich, potent, with that dreamy kind of fantasy, magic, creative energies, the life-giving life, taking life, dissolving things, feeding, and so on. Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful card. Okay, so we have, so where do I want to start? We have mothers everywhere. We have one here, and it looks like she is bending over backwards. If you can see, her head is here, her body, it looks like she's catching her baby. And I can see we have over here, now this one looks like a bird, like a woman holding a bird. But we also have kind of the mother here and maybe child here. Okay, one on top of the other, kind of that stacking. Oh, and here we go. We have the mother and the child. And this one's actually really interesting up close. Oops. Let's see if we can kind of see the detail here. It looks like a child holding, like, here's the body, here's the head, and then holding a cup up here. And so, what I'm getting from all of this is that maybe, probably, your mother or a mother figure, maybe it was a grandmother, a caretaker, auntie, somebody, older sister, your mother figure was everything, is everything to you. Okay, even if that was or is troubled in some way. I think some of her life choices really affected you, especially when you were young, when you were in her care, or maybe not in her care, because you couldn't be. And it seems, there's just like a certain amount of inconsistency in all of it. You could rely on your mother in that you knew that she loved you. You knew that she was trying very hard. Did she know how to live well? Maybe not. Was she the perfect mother or mother figure? Probably not. Right? But she was doing what she thought was best. And, I think that you recognize in her the things that she sacrificed. That maybe sometimes she did things that she didn't know any better, or maybe she was a little bit selfish sometimes, but then said, this is in the name of our family or for whatever. And this is, sometimes very hard for you, I think. And I think this is maybe an ongoing hurt. It seems like it's playing, there's a lot of it here, right? And here with the mother, it almost seems like maybe she's passed. I don't know. But there are wings, okay? Or maybe she's like a saint to you, and it's hard to look at the places where, you were hurt emotionally, maybe physically, so on, beyond the normal stuff that happens, whatever normal means, right? We all have our things, right? And it's all relative. But I do feel like there was kind of a chaotic childhood for sure. And I feel like sometimes you perceived your mother as putting other people before you. Maybe before your siblings, or maybe she had a favorite sibling, one of her children or whatever. And that was difficult for you, but you still you did even then idolize your mother. And I think that though it was probably pretty difficult, and I'm looking at this, there's a lot of flight. Like, I feel like you kind of maybe took off as soon as you could, but I also think there was a lot of evolution for you. And I really feel distinctly that, although this is hard and terrible, you had to grow up, and you had to get out there and you had to kind of take care of yourself. And for better or worse, that kind of put you in a position of being far more responsible than your mother, than your father probably as well. I don't know. But I think that, you have spent a lot of time looking for like emotional security. And I see kind of these little hearts, and I see a person kind of, there's another heart here, grasping, trying to get a hold of these things. Even here with the child, arm out, wanting, just, wanting to be heard, wanting to be held. I remember, and I'm sure a lot of us have memories like this, even if our parents were really involved, with our lives. My mother she died when I was young, and she just, had issues and things, and she was a lovely person, and complicated, as we all are. And so I just remember it was hard for her to, I think, just connect emotionally sometimes, and I remember just that feeling of wanting to be heard, and just like crying and crying, but nobody came. And and I think that we all kind of have that. It's like I think it's just something, maybe not every single person has it, but I think a lot of people do. I think this is something I've heard a lot. I've done a lot of group therapy, talked to a lot of people in my life. I think it's something, though, that a lot of us have. We just, partially, let's not forget that, especially, my age or Generation X, a lot of our parents, they worked a lot. They were gone a lot, and there's just like a lot of absence, I think, in a lot of people's lives. And so I think that that kind of that's made you go the other way, right? Being more involved. And I think that probably in your life you have been seeking that emotional security, but I don't think we ever find it in somebody else, right? It feels like maybe we can. Maybe we get really close to it, and at moments it feels like it's there. But that can't be sustained because we can't look for fulfillment in other people. I don't know. In my experience, I don't know that exists. But I think that as you get on with things, you start to find it with yourself, right? Hopefully. And as you find ways to experience this feeling with yourself, that can be really potent. That can be transforming. That is transmutation right there. That's the stuff that really gets that process going. And there's a wholeness in it. And I think that spills over to our relationships, to the people that we are willing to allow into our lives, who we will commune with in sacred places. Because, when you know yourself that way, when you love yourself, it's not even just loving yourself, when you hold yourself that way, okay? When you can mother yourself. And this isn't about gender, whatever you identify as, it doesn't matter. But you can still mother yourself. And when you can do that, you begin to mother other people. But you also have this brutal softness that you're not willing to put up with BS from other people, I feel like for me, I really started to find this some years ago. But when I did become a mother, oh my goodness, I'm now a recovering people pleaser. I still have some issues, I do, but, you know, something about having a little chick under your wing, right, that you have to take care of. Absolutely won't put up with any guff from anybody. Absolutely will not allow weird, dangerous, you know, predatory, any kind of icky energy around the family, around the child, not even yourself. I'm so superstitious about even the things that I just consume, like media and stuff, because it changes, you know, my perception of life depending on what I'm indulging in. And I feel like that really flows over into how I interact with my family and my child. And, you know, so that all of that's super important to me. And also, she's so psychic. My daughter, she just knows things, you know, and they all are, really. If you really talk to them and listen to them, they just know, you know. They look at you and they know what you're thinking, or at least have some idea. They can feel your emotions. They know. This is so funny. She we did the Easter bunny this year, and because she wanted to, and sure, she was what, 2, I guess, when almost 3. And so now the other day she was asking me, Mommy, are we gonna do Santa Claus this year? And I said, do you want to do Santa Claus? And she said, yeah. She was like, you know, I believe, Mom. I know that it's a spirit, but I believe. And I said, well, that's fine. That's all you have to do. You have to believe, you know. And she's 3, and it's like, you know, I think it's neat, you know. She decides she wants it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. Anything, whatever you want. So, you know, they're smart, these kids, you know. I really, it is such a blessing to be around, you know. Not only, it doesn't have to be your own child, just being around young people, teenagers, whatever, young adults. My nephews, my nieces, they seem a million years ahead in the future compared to what I was when I was 20 years old, you know. And they're so charismatic and interesting and quirky and, you know, they just are so, and I think a lot of it, I mean, this is just my perception, is that they have the ability to, they're not stuck in one persona. They can be into so many things. I remember when I was young, it was like, oh, you were one thing. You were you know, even in high school, it's like, oh, you're a rocker, or you're a rapper, or you're into country, or you're a prep, or whatever. Like, that's so weird now. There's so many nuanced things now, so many niche things, and like these kids, they are so many things, and so interesting. I'm excited to see what the world is going to be like in, you know, 20 years, you know, God willing, of course, and see what the art, literature, you know, divination, magic, the occult. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see. I am so excited about it. I don't know. You know, I'm in an eternal optimist, really. I'm, you know, kind of cynical, kind of an absurdist, but I am very optimistic about things. And, you know, I just look at the, oh gosh, I know I'm going on and on, but kids' art, the coolest. Going into the classes and seeing all these kids' stuff hanging on the walls. It's better than any museum I've ever been to. Like, so cool. And I look at art every day, you know, like online, not in person, but I literally look at art for at least 30 minutes a day. That is one of my big rituals. I look at a lot of art. I listen to music, and you know, it's part of my purpose in life to be a witness. And I'll tell you what, these kids, they are so interesting, the things that they create. They're, you know, the scenarios they come up with them, and the ideas are just very innovative from the beginning. Okay, let's see, where am I at? We have a heart here, and you know, I know that, and I just, you know, ultimately with all of this, I think there's just a lot of consciousness towards your mom. And I almost wonder, is this around your mother's birthday? Or mother figure's birthday, or some kind of anniversary? But she has been on your mind a lot, okay? And maybe you're spending time with her. Maybe she's getting older. Maybe she's changed cognitively. Whatever it is, you're really in your feelings there. Very watery place. I can feel it. Something. I just feel kind of, you know, the waves coming. It almost is like the ocean at night, right? It's beautiful. It seems pretty serene, but it's very emotional, and it's so dark and so murky. It's incredibly terrifying, right? And so, yeah, I think this is kind of where you're really dwelling in this place. There's no resolution I can see right now, but to, you know, let yourself be there, you know, and maybe this is the work that needs to be done right now, something to think about, and to really look at where you have been and where you have, you know, traveled throughout your life, and where you are now, right? The work with the parent stuff is, well, yeah, you know, we joke about it. Like, this is what we spend our whole life in therapy kind of looking at. It always comes back to them, doesn't it? But, you know, but it's true. These are the people that we have that bond, that not all of us, right? Some of us, you know, we just don't know our parents or whatever, but, you know, we all have some kind of caretaking archetype from then. And so we have to kind of figure some of that stuff out at some time, or it comes knocking at your door, right? So, but I see a heart that is really, you know, it's strong, and I feel like there's a lot of love here. I think it's emotional. I don't think that this is like destructive, okay? I also see we have a fragmented fish. There's abundance here, and I think that is really going to be part of levels of growth, but there's abundance on every level, okay? So this is ongoing. This is an ongoing thing. All right, let's take a look at this real quick, and then I'm going to bed. We have the divine doors right here, and these are Really cool cards. They have doors on them, and they're kind of affirmation cards, kind of inspirational cards. And I'm just going to stop where it feels right. No, not there. I just did that one again. Let me start over. I'm going to turn around. I do the same ones over and over, and I'm like, I'm not doing it this time. Okay, that was the one from the top. We'll do it. We'll do it. I haven't read this one yet. So, okay, nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. There you go. On the path to knowing self. I also want to look at this one. This one's pretty. I like that. Walkabout. You discover your path in sacred walkabout. The trees are your people. The earth is your tribe. In indigenous lessons, you find the will to survive. All right. Get out there and walk with those trees. Well, you know me, I'm always telling you, get in the garden, get in the backyard, get out in the park, go for a walk, do some intentional movement. It's always worth it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And I love each and every one of you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. The algorithm decides everything about everything, so we make it happy with engagement. Those are things like liking the video, sharing the readings on other social media platforms, watching the readings from the beginning to the end. You don't have to do any of these things, but they do really help. So if you're interested in supporting the channel in some way, these are the best ways to do that. Other than that, if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read all of them. Every single one of them. And they mean so much to me. So, I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say I love you again. And we will talk in just a few days, Taurus.